there's this unhinged dude in the front, this Slav who attacks her, throws something at her face. God knows what it was. Thank God someone was able to stop. She then, gotta love her. She then comes in and she goes up, like she literally is about to clock him. She says she's shaken up, right? Because who knows what he threw at her. This is Democracy-ish. This is our midweek check-in. We have Democracy-ish Mondays and Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And we have that going live on Danielle's fantabulous YouTube channel, which you should all subscribe to. And when we do Democracy-ish, that also goes live on our Substack as the Damn Digest and Left Hook. Please subscribe. But, the framing of today, because I think it underscores so much, Danielle, of what we've talked about. And just stick with us, folks. Ilhan Omar yesterday is at an event. Ilhan Omar is in Minnesota. Ilhan Omar is at Ground Zero. Ilhan Omar has said abolish ICE before it was popular. Ilhan Omar is a black woman, a Muslim woman. Ilhan Omar has been the specific target of the right wing, of extremists, and of Donald Trump. Ilhan Omar has death threats. Yesterday, there's this unhinged dude in the front, this Slav who attacks her, throws something at her face. God knows what it was. Thank God someone was able to stop. She then... Gotta love her. She then comes in and she goes up, like she literally is about to clock him. She says she's shaken up, right? Because who knows what he threw at her. Thank God it was just some liquid. You never know. Getting bum rushed while you're giving a talk.
Yeah.
She stays, wait. People, don't leave. Just give me a couple of minutes. And then she continues. Earlier in the week at Sundance, Maxwell Frost, young black man, Democrat, progressive, attacked while attending Sundance by a right-wing freak. No one talks about it. Ilhan Omar, almost out of the news. And what we found out, surprise, surprise, Andy Kazmierzak, the freak who attacked her, check this out. I'm just going to read some few things. On Instagram, Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's outfit, who was doing politics the right way. Remember that? By Ezra Klein. Remember how all of us had to sit there and go, Charlie Kirk, oh, he was a saint, Charlie Kirk, oh yeah, the left. Remember all that shit? Turning Point USA chapter at the University of Minnesota follows Andy Kazmierzak, the individual who sprayed an unknown liquid at Ilhan Omar during her town hall. Okay, speaking about the radicalization of Andy Kazmierzak, check this out. The most complete glimpse into the life and radicalization of Anthony Kazmierzak. From rarely posting anything political to physically attacking a member of Congress in just a few years. Another victim of the algorithm, according to Kevin McFarland. Yesterday, Russia's Ilhan Omar at a town hall event, okay? January 8th, Danielle, tweets about and justifies Renee Good's murder. December 29th, tweets that white people are genetically superior to black people, also tweets further dismay that black people are reproducing. The replacement theory. The same thing that radicalized Dylan Roof. Let me continue. 12/28. Tweets dismay at lack of Somalis arrested by ICE in Minneapolis. 11/24. Tweets that black people are reverting to apes. 9/21. Makes President Trump and Erica Kirk his Facebook profile picture. 9/11 makes Trump his Facebook profile picture. 8/31. I'll finish in a second. More racist tweets calling black people, whatever. 8/8 tweets frustration about black people reproducing. 6/22 creates Twitter account. First post criticizing Klobuchar. And furthermore, sued for $1,200 in debt in November 17th, 2025. In March 21st, daughter's involuntary commitment extended. And daughter involuntary committed for mental illness and chemical dependency on 10/12. Also in January 2024, sued for $1,000 debt. Danielle, I've interviewed Ilhan Omar. We've interviewed Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar, when I interviewed for the Daily Beast, said several years ago she did not feel that Chuck Schumer did enough. Years ago, against the threats that were coming after her then. Neera Tanden mocks Rashida Tlaib last week. Rashida Tlaib has also gotten death threats. Rashida Tlaib was censored by Democrats, right? They didn't censor Randy Fine for his Islamophobic comments that he's made, insane comments that we've talked about in Democracy. They haven't censored Tommy Tuberville. Still haven't all agreed to impeach Kristi Noem. Still saying we have to reform ICE. Still haven't made it mainstream news that Ilhan Omar and Maxwell Frost were attacked by two right-wingers. Just setting the table, I give it to you, Danielle.
So it sounds to me he's built to be an ICE agent, and I'm surprised that he hasn't been admitted into the program. I mean, this is exactly. I mean, his biography, right, reads as exactly what we are seeing on the ground across the country by actions by ICE agents. Right, one just mooned and gave a finger to protesters in Minnesota because that is what you do when you are a federal official, right? Others are saying I'm watching you and you're in a database, and we're learning more about the fact that maybe Alex Preddy was in fact targeted by ICE agents because they had a profile of him from a week before. So what do I think about all of this? I think that what I said earlier with Jared today, and Jared said the same fucking thing. Establishment Democrats do not give a fuck about you. They don't even give a fuck about their own, right? So Neera Tanden, she is one of your South Asian cousins, right?
Hey.
She one of your South Asian cousins who, god damn it, right? You got a list of bad ones, but who is just like, be good, be quiet, keep your head down. Then you get promoted. Have the status quo white establishment talking points and all will be well. I say this as somebody who worked at the Center for American Progress while she was president and understand how she rose to the levels that she rose to inside of Obama administration, inside of the Biden administration before she was let go. And then came back to Center for American Progress. The reason why she does a tisk tisk at Rashida Tlaib is because Rashida Tlaib is too vocal, too on it, too demanding of there to be change, right? The reason why Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi don't do a goddamn thing when they saw when Nancy Pelosi was in leadership, doesn't do a damn thing for these women of color, because you should get in line, you should assimilate, you should be happy to be here and keep your fucking head down and tote the company line. And if you don't tote the company line, then guess what? The company leaves you out to dry and you are on your own. And so here's the thing. Exactly. Randy Fine said today on Fox News that he blames Ilhan Omar for what happened to Ilhan Omar. Him saying that out loud is no different than Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and the rest of Democratic leadership not doing a damn thing to protect those that are made targets by the right wing. He says it out loud. They say it with their silence. It's the same fucking message. So, like, here's the thing to me. When I saw Maxwell Frost's post about being punched in the face at Sundance by this radicalized right-wing Trumper, and then I see Ilhan Omar, the only thing that came to mind for me was thank God they're still alive. Thank God that what happened to Melissa Hortman and her husband and what happened to the other elected officials in Minnesota that were also at the hands of a deranged Trumpist, that thank God these two were only assaulted physically and that they lived to talk about it. Because the reality is that's the kind of fucked up situation that we're in, that we have been conditioned to believe that these acts of violence don't get escalated. Because the fact of the matter is that because Democrats don't make a big fucking deal, because they don't protect and come for their own, all they do is leave the door open for escalated violence to happen. You don't go from zero to shooting somebody in the fucking face and their fucking dog and their husband, right? You don't go from a tweet to then a trigger. It happens slowly. And because there are no fucking interventions, because there are no examples that are made of these motherfuckers, they keep coming. It isn't a siloed lone wolf. This is an entire now MAGA-fied militia that feels that they have the ability to do whatever they want, say what they want, and they can do so now and get a fucking badge. right? All of this has been progression. And it isn't just the progression of Republicans, right? And their bullshit. It is the progression of Democrats and their lack of fucking care and protection of their own. And I mean those that are elected, and I mean those that are their fucking constituents. They don't give a fuck. So stop giving these motherfuckers your money. Stop wasting your time on them, and stop believing that midterms are coming to save you, because they've been telling you for the last 10 years they don't give a fuck about you. Right? So I don't know what else people need to hear, or what else we're looking for in terms of, oh, what is Chuck Schumer going to say? He's not going to say dick, right? He's not going to say dick, because that's what he's good at.
And you know, Danielle, to your point, I'll take it a step further. It's not just the past 10 years. They would always choose white supremacy, white centrists, and white Republicans over black and brown people. I'll give you an example. Two racist slavers and traitors to this country who seceded and then lost the war were embraced by white America without any accountability. Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee. No accountability for these racist traitors. Instead, what happened? Reconciliation. Right? They weren't super predators, no 3 strikes. They weren't in jail forever. They didn't get deported to Seacoast. We have monuments and schools named after them. You had you had Bill Clinton saying, now, you know what? Oh, we have to get along. And sure, we had disagreements and misunderstandings. And then without accountability, you had the flourishing of the lost cause, the myth. Oh, we can still fly the Confederate flag without any social or economic penalty. Oh, look, we didn't even get a slap on the wrist. Everything's fine. Then I give you, fast forward to the 21st century. Donald Trump incites a violent insurrection against our free and fair election, brings thousands of these freaks and racists, many of them who were flying the Confederate flag, some of them who were promoting white Christian nationalist talking points and posters. They attacked our Capitol, beat up cops, shit in the U.S. Capitol, and tried to assassinate Mike Pence. And what did this country do? A very deliberate choice. Joe Biden comes in. Let me keep Christopher Wray. Let me bring in Merrick Garland. I have 4 years to hold Donald Trump accountable. I have 4 years to hold Republican elected officials accountable who are part and parcel of the violent insurrection. Let's perp walk one of them. In fact, you know what? Let's perp walk none of them. Let's wait 4 years for Merrick Garland to waste the clock, even though we have Donald Trump dead to rights in the phone call to Brad Raffensperger to rig Georgia. Literally, we have him, as Jack Smith said, you have all the evidence where he intentionally stole classified documents, kept it, where he intentionally incited a violent insurrection. And now, folks, we just got some... Hold on one second. I want to save this. I want to get back to it. We got some news today that FBI says it is serving a warrant. Wait, want to guess what state? FBI says it is serving a warrant at the elections office in Fulton County, Georgia. What happened in Fulton County, Georgia? Oh, where there was an attempt to have him held accountable. All right. And now you have all these people who have spread hate, who are part of the same ideological infrastructure, who spread the conspiracy theories that radicalized this attacker of Ilhan Omar. And what happened a couple of months ago, Danielle? Charlie Kirk was murdered. And before there was any proof, Donald Trump, look what they're doing, folks. Donald Trump gets out. It's all projection. And what does he say? We always bring receipts on Democracy-ish. It's the radical left. And Stephen Miller says what, Danielle? The radical left. And Erica Kirks blames who? They and them. And then you had the National Security Presidential Memo in September that says we're going to investigate indicators of radical left terrorism, which includes anti-American sentiment and anti-Christian sentiment. And then what happened in September, Danielle? Antifa is a terrorist group, right? What happens? They blame the victims. Renee Nicole Good. Call them what? Domestic terrorists. What do they call Alex Preddy? Wait for it. Domestic terrorist. And what happened after Charlie Kirk's murder? Charlie Kirk was doing politics, Danielle, the right way. Tim Miller was on with me. I know you all love Tim Miller. Go watch what he did with me on Piers Morgan. Snake threw me under the bus. I just hate this. Why can't we all just be civil? How could you criticize the way? Ugh, I don't like any of this. You criticize the way Erica Kirk was politicizing it. Come on, she's a widow. Snakes. Look at them, right?
So she's a widow in sparkly pants that does pyrotechnics at her fucking husband's supposed memorial. Get the
And
fuck
did you get
out
the
of here.
audio?
I don't.
Did you get the audio? Did you hear the audio of her talking about how much money they made?
No, and I don't care. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think it's important to bring receipts. I think it's important for us to have collective memory because of the collective gaslighting and distortion that is being put our way. But I'm telling folks right now that we have run out of time. And I'm not even talking about the atomic clock that is now at 85 seconds to midnight.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a historic clock that tells us how close humanity is to destroying itself. Right? And they are talking about the escalated political violence. They're talking about climate change. They're talking about AI. They're talking about the collection of things that is actually going to serve our end. Right?
Yep.
We're 85 seconds to midnight, the closest that we've ever been. And at this point, in my humble opinion, we're actually past midnight. We're actually at like 12:15. So, my feeling about this is that I don't know, Waj, if any of this matters. I don't know if it matters that Donald Trump's wayward, criminal ass FBI, Department of Justice is waging an investigation, a criminal operation into Georgia. Because let's just call it what it is. They're involved in a criminal operation into the states and into the jurisdictions that had the audacity to stand up against Donald Trump and his desire to steal the 2020 elections, right?
Correct.
Let us all just be clear. So when we say that there's an investigation, what we're doing is providing credibility to people that don't deserve any credibility. Right? Like what we say when we say, oh my God, Kristi Noem's got to go, is that we're saying that there's another devil coming behind her that's better than the devil that we're seeing in front of our faces. What we are looking for is not the whack-a-mole of Nazis. What we're looking for is not like this continued parade that goes back and forth between now Tim Walz is sitting down with Tom Homan, who fucking stole $50,000 that he's never bothered to account for, that we know the man has the same ideology as Dan Barbino, except he's not going to be in an overt Nazi outfit cosplaying out in the fucking public. But they all think the same, they act the same, and they're going to maneuver the same. So by providing any of these fucking institutions and any of these fucking cabinet members and any of these fucking people with any credibility whatsoever is how the fuck we got here.
Yep.
Right? My God. I am exhausted today. I'm exhausted by all of this because I'm just like, what the fuck is it going to take? At this point, we have got to stop thinking that you're going to play music, as somebody said, play musical chairs with the motherfucking devil and think that you're not going to end up with charcoal feet. Stop with the bullshit. I'm tired of it. People want to keep lifting up these two white people that were murdered by ICE. And I know that it is traumatic and is god awful and they were good people. Have been 9 people killed this year.
Yep.
And it is not even February. So why is it that you feel compelled to know and create to memory the names of these 2 white people and not anybody else? Why is it that we only cared about what ICE was doing when all of a sudden it was in your neighborhood and not the fact that they've been raping people in their detention, including children? My God, folks, at some fucking point, you gotta snap out of this bullshit. And I don't apologize for my rant because I'm actually fucking sick and tired. This week has just rubbed me fucking done. I really am.
No, you don't need to apologize for it. And it's painful for me to say this, and I hope it doesn't come to it. I really don't. But what have we said on Democracy-ish for a year? ICE will be unleashed against American communities. Fascism comes for everyone. What we warned about was, folks, if you normalize this, what's going to happen is 2 things. Copycat killers, meaning people who are criminals who will simply say, oh, I can wear a mask and terrorize people and commit crimes. Already happened in LA. Number two, ICE is going to put its hands on the wrong person. And specifically, we said a white person. And a white person is going to die. We literally said a white person is going to get killed. And then within 2 weeks, 2 white people have been killed. And in death, they're being defamed and dehumanized like they defame and dehumanize black people, like they did with Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, like they did with all the Muslims who were killed during the War on Terror, the pro-Palestinian activists, Mahmoud Khalil, Rumeza Ozturk, all the Latinos who have been terrorized, killed, raped, assaulted over the past 3 decades by CBP. What's been happening to black and brown people and Muslims now is happening against white people. Because if you allow your government to engage in cruelty against one group, that government, without accountability, is given a green light to do it against any group. If a criminal is allowed to crime without accountability, as we have said, that criminal says, I can do this again, which is why if you've been watching Democracy for several years, we've said you have to hold Donald Trump and his entire ecosystem accountable. Because what they were told by white, moderate, centrist America, let's just be honest, and corporate America, you won't even get a slap on the wrist. You'll get rewarded and you'll return to power. And then once you get power, you can flex that power and use the entire system to crush your opponents. You can go after Letitia James. You can go after Fani Willis. You can go after Fulton County. You can do criminal investigations to Jacob Fry. You can do a criminal investigation at Tim Walz. What does Tim Walz do? Hey, Tom Homan, we have disagreements. Hey, people got pissed off at me last week. Remember that? They got pissed off at me when I said Tim Walz, you're missing the moment. Channel Mayor Fry. And they're like, why are you saying that? He's trying his best. I'm like, he both sides it.
He's not trying his best.
He both sides it. He both sides it. He goes, this isn't who we are. And you and me are like, this is who we are. These are the slave patrols. This is the Gestapo. This is who we are. And he goes, now also, Minneapolis, let's not give them an excuse. Let's not add to the chaos. I'm like, they're not adding to the chaos. They're citizens out there with their phones being tear gassed. What are you doing? And Mayor Fry, I think he had the right gusto. He had the right type of energy. You have to go on offense. They're not built for this. They're not built for this. And if I may, Danielle, I want to mention the names of the people killed. Guardian came out 5 hours ago and said it's 8 people who have died. We've also heard the names of 9 with Al Jazeera. Let me just name them.
Yep.
Luis Gustavo Nunez Caceres, Geraldo Lunas Campos, Victor Manuel Diaz, Paradi La, 46-year-old Cambodian immigrant, Paradi La, Renee Nicole Good, Luis Beltran Yanez Cruz from Honduras, Eber Sanchez Dominguez, Alex Preddy, and then furthermore, we found out the Cuban immigrant in Texas, the autopsy revealed, surprise, surprise, Danielle, he didn't just die, it was homicide. And Keith Porter Jr. Keith Porter Jr., that's your 9. The black man who was killed right at the end of 2025, but there was no video camera, so we don't mention him. Just like Democrats don't mention Ilhan Omar and Maxwell Frost. I want to go to a point why this is all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Rashida Tlaib said this January 24th, right? For the reason why we brought up Rashida Tlaib and why Neera Tanden, we're going to go back to that because it's all connected. Mm-hmm. January 24th, just 4 days ago, Rashida Tlaib, the only Palestinian member of Congress, tweets the following. Shame on every single House member, including the 7 Dems who voted to fund this killing mob. Mm-hmm. Cold blood killing in our streets. Some even clapping and cheering. I'm so sick of fake-ass people who say they uphold our Constitution. No, you don't, if you fund this madness. Just last week, folks, remember that 7 Democrats? Mm-hmm. Neera Tanden, who was part of the Biden administration, who was the president of CAP, and I have a CAP story for you later, when Danielle worked for CAP, requotes in response to Rashida. A lot of people can criticize the members here, but the last person who should do that is a person who helped Trump win when she could have supported the Dem presidential candidate, which is first and foremost a lie, because Rashida did come out for Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. Number 2, what Rashida said, and so many Democrats said, Danielle, is for the love of God. Can you at the very least stop supporting a genocide? And the bar is so low it's in hell. Yep. Can you at least have a Palestinian come to the DNC? And what did the same DNC say? Shut up.
Yeah.
No. You're going to vote for us or else. And tell them, Danielle, what 18 million Democratic voters did instead.
what 18 million Democrats did and said, they didn't vote.
They stayed home.
They stayed home. And actually, I mean, it was those 18 million, but altogether, it's 89 million. 89 million people stayed home. 89 million who are eligible on top of those who made a political decision just stayed home. Like, what was the rundown? 75 point something million for Kamala Harris, 77 million for Donald Trump.
She lost by like 1.5 points. 1.5. 1.4.
1.4.
Yeah.
Right? That was Donald Trump's landslide that he talks about. That was the people gave you a mandate, right? Like that's what we're talking about. And so when people say, like, this is why, I'm not into politics and I don't really like politics and blah, blah. And I'm like, politics is super into you. Super into you. Do you know what I saw today on social media? I saw on Threads this person whose handle I think was something like radical leftist came out attacking Kamala Harris, asking where she was. How come Kamala Harris isn't doing anything right now? The comment section ratioed the hell out of him because they said, when you go to a job interview and you're not hired, do you still show up at the job every day and do the job in hopes that what? They're going to hire you? Right? Like, why are you asking her to be leading in this moment when America chose the fucking lunatic, demented white nationalist to be their leader as opposed to the competent, clear, and articulate and thoughtful and compassionate Black woman? I'm confused. Right? Like, so again, folks in this moment still find themselves like wanting to, like some idiot, and I'm going to say this because I'm just like, I've had it today. Stop fucking policing my language. You don't like that I curse? Do not watch me. It's very easy. There are so many other people to watch. Like, stop policing my language. Oh my God. I wish that Danielle would stop cursing. I don't give a fuck. Like, and then put that, like, make it louder. I don't give a fuck. Like,
who said that?
The fact that you think that policing my language and policing anyone's language or emotions in this moment is where you should be putting your energy makes you part of the larger problem. Because instead of people recognizing, like, don't call Donald Trump a fascist. Remember that, Wash? New York Times, oh my. And even today, even this week, it was some of their policies echo of white supremacy. It's not an echo. It actually just is white supremacy. It is white nationalism, but they don't say it, right? Because that language that we were using that was accurate was too harsh.
That's right.
So we should have found a moderate, even tone way to say that Donald Trump, if he got back in power again, was going to weaponize the military, that he was going to shut down the Department of Education, that he was going to back us out of the World Health Organization and the UN and the climate agreement and all of the things that we tried very smartly and peacefully and, without any curse words. And please listen to me, please. Here's me, the Oliver Twist of political analysts. Like, please just listen to me. Like, give me a break. Give me a fucking break.
You know what? I'm with you. And Danielle curses, so I don't. And she curses enough for the both of us because I have 8 kids. And if you're not angry about 2 Americans being killed in broad daylight in the past 3 weeks and the government of the United States gaslighting you, then what's wrong with you? Pinch yourself to check if you have a spirit, or you might be dead. You might be spiritually dead. If you're not upset at seeing the images of children crying in Texas in that concentration camp, I'm calling it a concentration camp, pinch yourself. What's wrong with you? You probably have no soul left. If you're not pissed off at seeing Donald Trump target Ilhan Omar, and then this man who was clearly radicalized by the right wing based on what we just said and what you just seen, and you think that's normal for Ilhan Omar, regardless of what you think about her, to get bum rushed with this guy who throws some liquid at her and Maxwell Frost to get punched, but then we have to spend an entire week. Remember the first Trump administration? clutching our pearls because at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Michelle Wolf, the white comedian, made fun of Sarah Huckabee Sanders' eyeshadow. Do you remember that, Danielle?
Smoky lies. Oh, yes. I absolutely remember it. And that was a line too far. Not the fact that she stood in front of the American people on a regular basis and was a handmaiden for Donald Trump's white supremacy and lies. Not the fact that she even changed her own last name because Donald Trump didn't like her father. That's how much she bent the knee and bent over for him. But anyone holding up a mirror? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I mean, Danielle, to your point, I talked to Brittany about this an hour ago. And I said, Brittany, isn't it interesting how everything that you and I have been saying, warning about, white supremacy, fascism, right-wing authoritarianism, 10 years ago. Now, the corporate establishment centrists, the let's just be honest, MAGA, but not Trump, overly paid folks at The Atlantic and at CNN and New York Times are now saying, and Daniel's not making this up, just read it. It's coming out in the last week. You know what? I think they were right. This is fascism. You know what? ICE might be a bit racist. You know what? I think it's time to abolish. Yeah, I think it's time to abolish ICE. And look at all the people who have been saying this stuff for the past 10 years. Who's been saying abolish ICE? Who's been saying white supremacy is the problem? Who's been saying Donald Trump is fascist? Who's been saying Donald Trump won't leave peacefully? The rest of us, because we know American history, because this has happened to our communities. Now, what happened in the past 10 years? All of these corporate institutions and their lackeys and their hacks, including the Ezra clients, and yes, Tim Miller also. I know you all love him. I know this guy, just the bulwark crowd, okay? Now, brown cow. Now, black cow.
Yep.
Let's be civil. You need to bear hug us and Liz Cheney in order to win. Elbow the Palestinians, elbow the Muslims, drop kick the trans, from the top rope, go against the black women, bum rush the Liz Cheneys in corporate America and the centrists and Chet, and listen to Ezra Klein, who told us, can't make this shit up, folks. You know what the Democratic Party needs? It needs to open its tent to Joe Manchin and Marie Glusenkamp and Jared Golden. Danielle, the 7 Democrats last week who voted to fund ICE, can you guess? Glusenkamp, Golden, Cuellar, Suozo, and a few other of these centrists that these people were part of the same club said that we have to embrace. And then Suozo, did you see yesterday? No, 2 days ago.
Oh, yes.
Suozo.
Yes, because I can't pronounce his name.
Suozo, I think.
Long Island is where part of Long Island, Nassau County is where I believe that he represents, and comes out, big apology in Politico.
He never apologizes. He never apologizes.
After the fact. Oh, what did he say? I didn't he said something to the effect of
I'll get it.
Pull up the article because I really want to get the quote.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
He one of the 7 centrist Democrats that you are told you have to embrace because you'd rather have him than a Republican, which is what they told us about Manchin and Sinema. One of the 7 Democrats who kept quiet, then Alex Preddy was murdered, comes out this week, the co-chair of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, can't make this shit up, said in a statement Monday that he failed in voting for a bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security. I hear the anger from my constituents, and I take responsibility for that. I have long been critical of ICE's unlawful behavior, and I must do a better job demonstrating that. I fail to view the DHS funding vote as a referendum on the illegal and immoral conduct of ICE in Minneapolis. What changed his mind? Folks, Renee Nicole Good was already murdered. Renee Nicole Good was already called a domestic terrorist.
This is the thing that I want people to understand. She was already killed. The other 7 names that you read off, they were already dead.
Heath Porter.
So I don't understand what happened to his aha moment that didn't happen while you had the opportunity to show that you actually understood what was happening on the ground, that you knew what DHS was doing, right? Like, I honestly, I
We
believe.
know, Danielle. Let's be honest. We know what happened. A white man was killed. A white man was killed. Let's be honest. Let's be blunt.
Yeah.
Tom Swazi. Thank you, someone. Thank you, Swazi. A
Swazi.
white man was killed. A white woman was killed, but she's lesbian and she's a woman.
We don't care.
America might get over it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, you know. But we've been trying to tell white women. We've been trying to tell white women for so long. They don't give a fuck about you, right? They see you as nothing more than an incubator for white supremacy. Been trying to tell you that, but each election, more voted. So the fact that, and I'm so glad that you called it out, Waj, because sometimes I say, oh, you know, maybe it's not that. No, but you're right. A white man was killed. A white straight man was killed. A gun carrying white straight man was killed in America. And all of a sudden, it was like, ooh, I think I made a mistake. So he has blood on his hands, as do the other 6 Democrats that voted for this. Just days, because that vote happened on Thursday, and on Saturday by 10
That's right.
a.m., Alex Preddy would be dead. So
That's right.
I just, you know, folks, like, we have a government that is a shell government. These people are just there to give the perception that there is still some check and balance and rule and order. And if by now you do not understand that that ship has sailed, that it sailed way back when, we had but 4 years to hold Donald Trump accountable, to ensure that not only was he going to be held accountable, but everybody that enabled him was going to be held accountable, and that we were going to do it in such a way that anyone that would come in and try and fill his tiny footsteps, right, would think twice about doing so, because do they want to end up with the same fate of Donald Trump? We had 4 years, and the decision was to do absolutely nothing.
Yep.
The decision was to do absolutely nothing. So when people want to say, oh, Joe Biden, he did the best that he could. Oh, Tim Walz is doing the best that he could. I'm like, politicians jumping on social media to share memes, that's the best you can do as an unelected official, as an unelected person trying to share information with other people. Those that you elect can do more than kneel with kinty cloth on them, can do more, right? Than say a meme or a strongly worded tweet like ICE needs to be out of Minnesota now, says Chuck Schumer.
They can go kill other white people in New Jersey. Like,
but not in my district, not in my state, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, we do know, Danielle. Let's just be blunt. When power and privilege are threatened, that's when this country moves. We've always said the one color that trumps the color white is the color green. We've seen that the way to really hurt, they don't care about fact. We've said it for years on Democracy. We have all the receipts. We predicted. And this, what do we get? We get nothing. There's no prize. Okay. We have ice cracking our skulls. There's no, see, we were right. We said, if you're a student of history, even American history, of fascism, corporations and industrialists lay out the red carpet for fascists. We can do business with these people as long as it doesn't affect, Danielle, my bottom line.
Yep.
I want you all to remember this photo will be etched in history. Once, inshallah, if we have accountability, which we've never had in this country, and Newsom's not going to give it to you. Schumer's not going to give it to you, folks. If we have accountability, look at that front row, not the second row, not the third row. Look at the front row of Trump's inauguration. Danielle, do you remember who's in the front row of Trump's inauguration?
Oh, you mean on the dais?
Yeah.
Of Trump's inauguration? Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, who gave 2 Heil Hitler signs from behind the podium, which just evaporated from the news after that happened. What is it?
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple, right? Apple guy. The TikTok guy who had just sold to Ellison. Who else was
Google guy.
Bezos was there with his inflated bride. Who else was there? Which other ones of
I
the
think
billionaire class am I missing?
I think the Google South Asian, whose name I'm forgetting.
Right.
Uh,
And
all the oligarchs.
and YouTube.
Oh yeah.
The founders of YouTube. So who was on the dais? Which, by the way, because I remember you and I saying this on an inauguration day, we're like, just FYI, the dais is actually usually for elected officials or your family, right? Like that for this precious, immense moment, right? The dais is usually for elected officials or your family. But who did Donald Trump choose to showcase
Front
to the world
row.
that has and literally, they have my back, not yours, right? They have my back were the billionaire class.
And the billionaires in his cabinet, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Lutnick, and others, they don't care. They still don't care. The only thing they care about if it hurts their bottom line. The second thing, and I'm sorry, people might not like hearing this, the only time America will move on ICE, and I hope this is wrong, more white skulls being cracked by ICE, more white people being threatened by Pam Bondi's Department of Justice, more white people saying, whoa, 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 you're coming after me. Example, just 48 minutes ago, Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. Oliver Willis has a great comment. In Trump's America, normal-ass federal bureaucrats sound like a damned Paul Revere for just doing their jobs. Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve keeps interest rate unchanged, live on C-SPAN. We at the
What
Fed
did he
will...
say? He said that
No,
the Paul Revere comment?
No. Oliver Willis said, "I'm going to do," because this is what Jerome Powell said. Jerome Powell said, "We at the Fed will continue to do our jobs with objectivity, integrity, and a deep commitment to serve the American people." He also described the Supreme Court case about whether Trump can fire Lisa Cook as perhaps the most important legal case in the Fed's 113-year history. We also remember.
United.
Well, we also remember Jerome Powell a couple of weeks ago came out, dropped a 2-minute tape that he edited, and basically whistleblowed and said that Trump's DOJ was threatening him with a criminal indictment unless he lowered the interest rates. So once white people are affected, they get a spine. And so Oliver Willis said, damn it, man, in Trump's America, normal-ass federal bureaucrats sound like Paul Revere for doing their jobs. I believe, and we said this last week, Danielle, I'm going to say it again. This, for white folks, this is your John McClane, not John McCain, diehard's John McClane moment. This is your Clint Eastwood moment from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is your Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones moment. This is, for women, this is your Charlize Theron moment. This is your Ripley's moment from Aliens. This is your moment. They don't care about our lives. They don't care about our rights. They don't care about our children. They don't care about us. We've been warning about pro-Palestinian activists getting detained in Kimdat. Democrats didn't care. They didn't care. I keep the receipts. They didn't say anything. Just a little bit here and there, Danielle. 239 brown people were abducted. Not a word. Chris Van Hollen was the only man who went. Okay? Not a peep. Democrats told us, throw the weak under the bus. Alisa Slotkin said, we can't be weak or woke, her quotes. Gavin Newsom said, America's gone Joe Rogan. We need, wait for it, Danielle, the liberal Joe Rogan, who works out and hunts with a bow and arrow and lifts weights. I'm not making this stuff up. Look at the stuff that they promote of themselves, lifting weights, right? Meanwhile, the universe says, or you can have someone who smiles, doesn't throw anyone under the bus, messages on affordability, refuses to suck at the teat of billionaires, speaks out against genocide. His name is Zoran Mamdani, a person who fights for universal childcare. And once he'll get in office, he'll be even more popular. Or you have your own elected officials. You got a Rashida Tlaib on the right side of history speaking out against genocide. You got people like Summer Lee and Ilhan Omar saying abolish ICE since forever. Maybe embrace them. And even now, Danielle, what are they saying with the vote that's happening this week, this critical vote where the Senate can shut down the government.
Waj, it's too much. We can't, Cory Booker, we can't possibly use the budgetary process to hold this administration accountable with the power that the Constitution gave us of the power of the purse. No, no, no. We're not going to talk about shutting down the government. No, no, no. And as a matter of fact, maybe let's just give them more money at DHS so that they can wear body cameras, because it's not enough that they're wearing AI fucking glasses that allow for facial recognition, which is a total violation of your privacy. And they have a database that is literally running on their eyes. No, no, no. They need more money. They're actually going to go to the Olympics right now to go take a vacation so that they can act as security. And that's totally fine. Totally proper use of our tax dollars. Totally proper use of our tax dollars, even though the Italians are now pushing back and saying, we don't want your murderous militia in our country or in our city of Milan during the Olympics. Like, folks, it's there. What is another word for feckless? Like, what's another word for weak? What is the strongest word that we could possibly use? And that won't
Vichy
even be enough.
Democrats, collaborators, Vichy Democrats. We saw this. They're collaborators.
It's not enough. So since, I just want to say this, since the video leak of the detention center in Maryland, where Chris Van Hollen is the senator, since that video leak, I played it on the Danielle Moodie show. I know that you've seen it, and I know so many people have seen it. It looked like about, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 men crammed into a cell, laying on the floor, laying on each other with what looks like tinfoil as the only blankets that they could possibly have, saying that they haven't been allowed to bathe in 10 days. They don't have any food, right? Like, and the only person that I have heard that says that we need to storm these doors, that we need to go there, I need to be led inside, so far is Chris Van Hollen. These are concentration camps. 32 people were killed last year. We know that more people have died in this last month, in the first month of 2026, in detention than they have. You know who else came out with a report? LGBTQ News. You know what report they came out with today? That at least 30, not 3, not 13, but at least 30 CBP and ICE agents have been involved in sexually assaulting children in detention.
Yep.
Sexually assaulting children in detention. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 10, 30. So you're telling me that our elected officials that have these fucking detention, these concentration camps, these fucking rape camps in their states are telling you that they just can't get inside, that there's nothing that they can do, right? Like, oh, we're color-coded jackets that we saw. What is the color for? Does anybody ask that question? The children and the women that were yelling, let us out, let us out. Why are some of them in red coats and some of them in blue coats and some of them are green? Is that some type of fucking sick code for ICE? Right? These are the ones you can rape. These are the ones you can beat. Like, folks, come the fuck on. Like, we know what's happening. Right? If they're murdering people on the streets in broad daylight where everyone can video and see, what the fuck do you think is happening behind closed doors?
And how many people have been killed? How many people have been tortured? How many people have been raped? How many kids have been assaulted for the past 30 years without us knowing about it and without us caring about it, Danielle? Jen Budd, who's been on the show, former Border Patrol officer, whistleblower, has said this is the culture. Everything you just said: torture, rape, sexual assault of minors, murder of immigrants. This is just what we know about this year.
I just want to say this too. The man that murdered Keith Porter, the black man that was killed on New Year's Eve, it was found that that man that killed him has had multiple infractions against him, including sexual abuse.
Wow.
That man is still on the job.
Yep.
He was off duty. He shouldn't have even been able to have a gun. If you have those type of infractions against you, assault and sexual violence and what have you, why are you why are you an ICE agent? Right? Why are you able to have a gun at all? Like, I'm telling you, again, we haven't talked about the Epstein files in weeks. We haven't talked about the Epstein file in weeks, but I'm telling you, the same people that kept that disgusting abuse syndicate going for decades, they are the same. I mean, it's one and the same.
Yeah.
They are rapists, right? They are child abusers. They are pedophiles. Donald Trump took those people and said, "You're just like me," and gave them a badge and a gun and said, "Go at it." And JD Vance said, "You have complete immunity." So what do you think happens when you give a monster a license?
I was on with Ellie Leonard last night, and people can see our post. Ellie is a fantastic investigative journalist, and Ellie is a mother of 4, and I'm a father of 3, and that's what we talked about. Is like they didn't care about the rape of kids, Danielle. Jeffrey Epstein was a known convicted pedophile who got a slap on the wrist. He had a sweetheart deal, folks. He was out of jail mostly for those 13 months where he continued raping people. And you know what happened? JP Morgan still did business with him. You know what happened? Steve Bannon still met with him. You know what happened? He was still invited by all these academics to MIT and Harvard. You know what happened? The rich and the powerful didn't care, which meant the rich and the powerful didn't care about kids. And they have kids, but they didn't care. And folks, they don't care about these kids right now in Dilley concentration camp. I call it a concentration camp in Texas. They don't care about brown kids, which means they won't care about white kids. And I want you all, if you think we're crazy, look at this. I just saw this from 8 minutes ago. Prem Tucker, fantastic journalist at Zateo, posts a video that represent Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, one of the 7 Democrats who just voted to fund ICE. She just posted defending her stance with the flannel shirt. Argues funding for ICE is not the question. Instead, Senate Democrats have leverage for various demands. This is one of the demands. Quote, I think they could negotiate to replace Noam with someone that doesn't skirt the filibuster. David Dayen, the executive editor of American Prospect, responds to this and goes, what the F does, quote, someone that doesn't skirt the filibuster mean? Is this a member of Congress talking? This is the video she decided to put out literally today, folks, as literally plurality of Americans are saying abolish ICE. Folks, if you watch Democracy-ish, if you are a blue anon, vote blue no matter who, blah, blah, blah. I don't think Democracy-ish or Damn Digest or Left Hook is for you. We're the lesser of two evils. We're strategic. We get it. I can't support centrists who fund a slave patrol and a Gestapo that is willing to kill people. I can't support people who are complicit. I loathe cowards. I don't want to use the word loathe. One of the few things I really loathe in life is cowardice. I loathe cowards. These people are telling you who they are. They are for restoration to the norm. They are telling you they're not willing to fight. They're telling you they will not tax the billionaires. They're telling you they will not abolish ICE. They're telling you they're not going to fight for immigration reform. They're telling you they would rather bear hug Netanyahu than Mamdani. They're telling you with their actions, they're very confident that they have already won the House and the Senate and the 2028 election, even though literally Donald Trump is showing you he will engage in an insurrection and perhaps do insurrection act, and we might not have elections again. They're not going to hold any of these people accountable. They've already spiked the ball in the end zone, and they believe they can waltz in and keep business as usual. Proof of that, they're not releasing the DNC audit. Proof of that, they're not embracing change. Proof of that, they've seen the elections and they think, oh, Trump is so bad that you're going to go from the abusive, rapey boyfriend to the alcoholic boyfriend.
Right. I mean, oh my God, Waj, that was so good. Because that's the choice. That is the false choice that they are giving you. right? Between somebody that will beat you and rape you and somebody that, well, will drink themselves into a stupor and ignore you, maybe rough you up a bit, just shake you, but they don't actually, really, really beat you. You don't end up with a black eye with them. But the abuse is still the same. And I'm telling you, we need to liberate ourselves from this idea that any of these two forces are going to change or shift without a national strike and without the people deciding that we've had enough of both. Right? It is a false choice that they're giving us. And for folks that want to continue to say, well, at least they're not as bad as X, that's the choice that you're making between physical abuse and emotional abuse. Is still fucking abuse. It's still abuse. And that is what we have allowed ourselves to believe, that there is some big difference between Democrats and Republicans. No, we're here in this moment because of the both of them. Because of the both of them. The one told us, oh, don't worry. Like, I wrap myself in a rainbow flag. Like, go ahead, be gay, do okay, but don't be trans. Because then I got to draw the line. Then, right? Then I'm going to agree and say, you don't deserve to be in sports. You don't deserve to breathe. You don't deserve to exist. But I'm going to say that while wrapping myself in the flag. That
Danielle,
is
vote
Democrats.
Vote blue no matter who, except that Mamdani. We're going to do everything to destroy him. Vote blue no matter who, except those bees, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. Support all Democrats, except the ones that we don't like. Listen to the base, except when they do things that we disagree with, like taxing the rich, or stop funding, getting funded by AIPAC, or stop embracing Netanyahu. Then we're gonna kick you and your communities to the curb.
Oh, stand up and speak your voice, but don't be like Representative Al Green, because when you do that, we're all gonna sit down and pretend we didn't hear what we just heard, and we're not gonna have our brothers back. Right?
And then several of us are going to join Republicans in censuring Representative Green, and several of us are going to join Republicans in censuring Rashida Tlaib, but we won't censure Tommy Tuberville, who literally just said, as Ghazala Hashmi swore her oath on the Quran and became the first female Muslim and Pakistani Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, how can we let the enemies within? And we won't censure Randy Fine, who said all mainstream Muslims must be destroyed. That's fine. So people are asking us what to do. This is what we got to do.
Come on.
Primary season is right now, folks. You need you need their heads. Figuratively. This is what Republicans did it. 2014, I always give this example in Virginia. Republican parties did the same thing to their base. We're giving you Eric Cantor, shut up and take it. The Republican voting community and the grassroots community said, no, we're going to back this right-wing freak, David Brat. And guess what he did? David Brat won. As David Brat won, they realized, oh, wow, the Tea Party is ascendant. This is the party now. That led next year to the ascendancy of Donald Trump. You have this moment, this rare generational moment. I don't know if we're going to get this moment again, folks. The wind is behind our back. America realizes ICE is wrong. America realizes genocide is wrong. America's pissed off at income inequality. Latest data came out today that Trump is losing low-income white voters. They're pissed off about the economy. He's losing some white voters who are Second Amendment supporters who are in Minnesota saying, you're lying to us. They're killing us. I'm done with this. You have a chance at bold reformation. First and foremost, Danielle, this is my advice, and I want to give it to you.
Yep.
Expand your imagination.
Yes.
Demand more. You have been literally living in a brainwashed, hijacked mindset where you're told you can't even imagine a better future.
Come on.
Not only can you not imagine, not only can you not advocate for it, you can't even imagine it.
Nope.
Don't say universal health care. Don't say universal child care. Don't say abolish ICE. Don't even think it.
Yep.
You have to think it. You have to dream it. I want you to imagine better for yourself than an abusive spouse. Imagine a loving, empathetic spouse who fights for you. Then I want you to articulate it. You have to fight for it. You fight for it in the grassroots. There's a reason why Ro Khanna's in Minnesota. There's a reason why Reverend Warnock went to the Senate. There's a reason why Governor Pritzker all of a sudden said abolish ICE. They see the polls. They see the polls and they realize, oh shit. There's a reason why now they're seeing affordability, because Mamdani said it. Accountability. demand accountability and affordability, organize, pressure, primary, run for office if you have to, strike, 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 boycotts, because this country only cares about money. Capitalism is our religion. And then finally, local. ICE is going to come to your community. If they kick out ICE of Minneapolis, which they haven't, they backtracked already. Duh, shocking surprise. If they're going to do that to white people in Minneapolis and in New Jersey and in Maine and Chicago and LA, they're going to do it to you. So now you know the supervillain plot. Locally organize, protect your communities, get with your faith-based communities, get with immigrant rights groups, help out your neighbors, learn from these tactics. And this is the way we push. If we have free and fair elections, Danielle, I don't know if we will. We only have a year. Primary season. Now, this is it. This is all we got, Danielle. We have to go full court press. We have to go blitzkrieg on offense. We have to go blitz on defense. Both sides, offense, defense, blitz. No prevent. No, you can't play it safe anymore. And if these people are unwilling to fight and they're not willing to say your message, you shame them, you mock them, you ridicule them, and you tell them this is your last term, you're out. Danielle.
And I'm going to add to this, right? Everything, bravo. Everyone should be taking notes and rewind that part in particular. And I'm going to also say this, and I'm speaking to white people in particular. Y'all need to sit in the grief and the shame that you are feeling right now. For folks that are just beginning to wake up, I'm saying welcome, and I'm happy that you are becoming conscious. And I need you to, rather than rush away from the pain and the grief and the shame that you are feeling, I need you to actually sit in it. And I need you to sit in it, because the only way that we are going to get through this is to actually go through it, not to numb ourselves from it, not to ignore it, right? Not to try to find a quick way around it. I need you to feel it and go through it. On top of everything that Waj said, while you are feeling and grieving and understanding what it means to live in shame, and I mean shame by recognizing that you have been living in a privileged existence, a privilege that was given to you on the backs of Black and brown people, I need you to actually educate yourselves as well. Because I need for folks to stop saying that this isn't who America is. I need for folks to stop saying that this isn't the America that you know. Because you're right, it isn't the America that you know, because you've been purposefully lied to. So what does that mean? When I don't know something, I try my best to learn. So I need you all to put yourselves through like a civil rights and a fucking course in American history. I need you to read. I need you to read books like The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. I need you to read Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. I need you to read We Refuse by Kelly Jackson Carter. I need you to actually understand, right? Read All About Love by Bell Hooks. I need you to read, Freedom Papers and digest and actually go back in history so that you understand that the tactics that are being deployed on you right now and your community are tactics that have been deployed on Black people and Black communities and Indigenous communities forever.
Yep.
There's a reason why Black people and families have always had to give their children the talk about police, and white families have not. While when you look at white cops or cops in general, you see safety and a nice officer, and the rest of us see the potential to be the Grim Reaper and the end of our lives. Because there has always been a layered existence here in America. We're not all living the same lives, and we all have deeply different perspectives. But what I have you to understand is that what is being done now is being pulled from the past, and it's not being pulled from abroad. It's being pulled from America's history of white domestic terrorism. Okay? So I need folks to educate yourselves and then to organize yourselves. That is what you are being called to do. Don't act like this shit is brand new. Okay? Like, hip yourselves to the truth.
And I know you listen to The Atlantic. I've written for them in the New York Times, and we love, 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 love the white centrists who are 10 years late. But some of us have been on it for a decade. So listen to those folks, support those folks, and specifically Black and Indigenous communities. They've been through it. And I would say Muslim and Arabic communities during the war on terror, because the war on terror, folks, all the ammunition that Democrats and Republicans and the weapons that Democrats and Republicans voted for, funded, and gave to Donald Trump to attack, let's be honest, Muslims, Arabs, immigrants, Black people, and brown people, that's the same weapon that was fired by ICE agents to kill Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy, and not just kill them, cover up or try to cover up their murder. And also, not just that, with the deference to the government, mass media's attempt to defame them and dehumanize them in death, making the victim guilty of their own murder, Danielle, which is what's been happening against Black people, Indigenous people, brown people forever. They had it coming. They deserved it. If you don't believe me, literally listen to what they're saying about Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy. Trust the evidence of your eyes and ears. And we'll end it with that great quote from George Orwell. The final, most essential command of the party was to not believe the evidence of your eyes and your ears. And to Danielle's point, going back to Orwell, 1984, those who control the present control the past, and those who control the past control the future, which is why they're going after DEI, history books, teachers, and our stories. Danielle, shamelessly, please promote yourself to the 1,900 people who are watching.
Thank you, my dear friend. Folks, you're watching this on the Left Hook and the Damn Digest. Waj and I keep all of our content free. Even our comments are free, so if you have the ability to become a paid subscriber, do consider doing so. We're both running a special until the end of this month, which mine is, what is it, Waj? DanielleMoodie.substack.com/ Happy New Year sale. Or a New Year sale, not Happy New Year sale. New Year sale. And I am live again in less than 45 minutes on the Damn Digest and on YouTube for the Danielle Moodie Show, which I do Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And again, if you have the ability to become a paid subscriber and supporter, do consider doing so. But if not, you miss nothing. Just like, just comment, just share, just subscribe for free.
Everything Danielle said, I have the same terrible capitalist special, the lefthook.substack.com/special. It's up for 3 more days in January. A lot of people have said that it's helped you. It's $3.75 a month forever. So, if or you could do the $5. Danielle and I also have $5 a month. But if you want to do we're going to give you away money, and actually we give it all for free. So at the very least,
we do give it away. I'm like,
it's literally all free. So no paywalls. At the very least, like, subscribe. It helps the algorithms. Thank you all for watching. I, for one, will try to keep my promise of finishing up. I did 5 yesterday. I did 3 today. Go watch Danielle at 5 p.m. I'm going to go try to work out to stay overweight. So I'm going to...
You work out so that your blood flows, so that you don't have your hand rotting or ankle swelling like some people.
Yeah, but also just so I don't become obese, because I'm 45, my metabolism just said, my metabolism left. It was like Bruce Banner. Remember the Incredible Hulk show? It's like that little sad song, and he's just sitting there with that little stick, and he just walks away. I'm like, come back. And my metabolism is like, no. So I'm going to go work out to stay overweight. This will be up on our website and our Substack, Damn Digest and Left Hook, in about an hour. Thank you all for watching. I think we made a compelling case, but you let us know. And anyone who tells Danielle stop swearing, she says,
fuck off.
But first subscribe. Danielle will be back at 5 p.m. on the Damn Digest and her YouTube channel. Take care, everyone. Bye, Danielle.
Bye.